Do you know what as well?
Guys, here we are, Stoomboy, the Combat Companion. So, as always, show's brought to you by Hard Life Fightwear. Hard Life Fightwear offering a range of products, whether it be gi, no gi, MMA, they do have it covered. Anybody looking for any cool stuff, then just hit up hardlifefightwear.co.uk and you will get all the information through there. Some fantastic gear that they've got, so definitely hit them up and have a look. So guys, we're going to be talking about Aberdeen Combat Show 2 now. Aberdeen Combat Show 2 is going to be on the 11th of October at the Rich Energy Arena in Bridge of Dawn. So it's the second show. First one was an absolute success. I mean, they had some really, really good matchups, and this one's no different. This one's going to be, again, another unbelievable show that they're going to be putting on there. So Aberdeen's a fighting city. Do you know what I mean? Like, all they want to do in Aberdeen is fight. Do you know what I mean? So, and they put on a. That's why they've got a great show. They bring people from all over to come to Aberdeen. Yeah, as I said, get your tickets for it. It's going to be an amazing show. Starts early as well. It's a 4 p.m. start, so it's a very, very early start. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully early finish. Hopefully everybody goes out and knocks everybody out. Do you know what I mean? So one of the people that we're hoping is going to be on the show that day or that night is the Duchess, Caroline Plumley. So now I've known Caroline for a number of years. Do you know what I mean? And one thing I like about Caroline, and I say this all the time, is Caroline will fight anybody at any time, regardless of the discipline. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a kickboxing, a MMA, boxing, jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? I laugh and say, if they did combat chess, the very first person on there would be the Duchess. So this is going to be our last one as well. Last MMA fight. So this is what do they call it? A swan song. This is it. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely going to be an emotional night for obviously Caroline, the family, the team, and stuff like that as well. So, but listen, even though MMA's done, she's not fucking finished yet though. She's definitely not finished. So she's still in the scene. You'll still see her. So, but listen, Caroline, absolute pleasure as always chatting to you.
Awesome. Good to be here.
Tell us about you then. Obviously, we see each other at events all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll turn up and do you know what I mean? We'll see each other in Sunderland or in Newcastle or fucking Glasgow or Dunfermline or wherever. Do you know what I mean? So it's always brilliant seeing you. Do you know what I mean?
I just appear everywhere. Happy to drive anywhere.
Yeah. But it's always brilliant seeing you. I mean, I'd say then, do you know what I mean? You're always in high spirits. Do you know what I mean? You never see a down Caroline. Do you know what I mean? You're always in high spirits and you're making me laugh. You're making everybody else laugh. And you're just, do you know what I mean? A great person to be around and a great person to have at any fight show.
That's because I get to punch people in the face, so I'm not stressed. I'm well chilled. I think that's the thing, isn't it? That a lot of people think us fighters are like these crazy, like we're just going to batter everything. We're the opposite because we actually get that out, and we get it out with our friends, and we have a laugh. We get that aggression out. So everything's just fun. Plus, I can't do this sort of the angry, you know, when you come to the grappling matches and what, you know, you're thinking, what are you getting all angry for? We're literally rolling around the floor. Do you know what I mean? We know the expression, there's nothing gay about jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? You can't take it, take it seriously at a point, but we're rolling around the ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I see that. I mean, obviously, I do a lot of stuff like jiu-jitsu, the kids as well. I mean, see when I see the kids, and you've obviously had Grace at like young subs and all that kind of stuff, and some of these kids are mental. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing they do is they have a lot of fun with it. Do you know what I mean? You see them when they walk out, and do you know when they come walking out like Conor McGregor, and they're just absolutely buzzing, full of joy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's Caroline 30 years ago. That's what she was like 30 years ago. So, but no, listen, it's been a pleasure seeing everything that you've done. Sincerely, I've been watching you. I still remember like the battles that you had. And again, you're still going to be doing this kind of stuff, but I always remember the battles with Aaron as blue belts. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Coming through jiu-jitsu, and do you know what I mean? And obviously being there when you've had MMA fights and stuff like that. Obviously fought Gemma Auld.
Yeah.
You do it on Gemma Auld. She's obviously went and doing amazing things in PFL just now. So, but that was the thing. I mean, you were never afraid of getting in there with anybody at all. It made no difference who it was.
Do you know what? I think nowadays people are sometimes too scared of the outcome, too scared of what people are going to say, too scared of whatever the record is going to be. Do you know what I mean? I think whatever you want to do, you've just got to go out there and do it. Don't get me wrong, losing freaking sucks, doesn't it? But you're not going to get anywhere if you do not even try. Plus, we know ourselves. You could have the utmost person who is the best at everything. All it takes is them to be in the cage and slip on their own sweat. You know what I mean? And the whole thing's been turned around. We've also seen, haven't we? You know, you pit a blue belt against a black belt. It's not always the black belt that's going to win.
No.
You've just got to get out there, give it your all, and to be honest, just have some fun while you're doing it. I think nowadays, you know, there's so many young folk and everything's anxiety and everything's stress. We're meant to be stressed, you know. See, if you're stressed, you should be stressed coming up to a fight. You should be anxious. That's the whole point of doing anything out of your comfort zone. But you got to do it. You know, that gets your blood pumping, that gets the adrenaline pumping, which it's quite a sad thing. I think there's so many kids, so many young folk nowadays that will never experience that. They're too scared to experience it, you know? I mean, I remember speaking to you, we were doing the IMAFs, the EMAs down in Liverpool?
Yeah.
And we had guys on it, but they'd had females pull out. So they'd spoken to Paul. 2 weeks' notice, I'm like, yeah, whatever, we're going down, let's do this. And then speaking to you in the car, we actually realised who, what was her name? Chanel Dyer was. And we had a wee Google, and we all just sort of stared at each other in the car like, oh my God. And it was a bit like, do you want to know something? Let's just get in there. Let's just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? She can knock me out. Realistically, that's the worst. Which she did. I would have kept going, but the ref was like, nah, you're done. But you know, that's it. Go in there, do. What is the worst that can happen? The ref stops it. If you're stupid enough, you can get broken if you don't tap or if you don't, stop. But really, you are in the safest place to do these things. Refs, coaches, you know, the whole shebang. You just got to go out and give it your all. I will admit the boxing match that I did last year, that was the strangest thing ever, not using the rest of my body. That was really odd. I found that I may have backfisted her and had to apologise. She ducked and my knee came up. Somebody said it looks like I was about to go full guillotine when she bent over. At one point, I went to ram her into the side of the ring, and then I was just like, "Oh, sorry, yeah, okay, sorry." But you know, it was like, no, let's do this. Let's see if I can do this. I think you just got to bring energy to what you do, haven't you?
Yeah. I think. I mean, obviously, you've had, as you talked about Chanel Dyer, now UFC. Do you know what I mean? Gemma Auld, now PFL. Do you know what I mean? And both going to go on and have amazing careers. Do you know what I mean? And you can sit back and say, well, I fought them. Do you know what I mean? And I tell people this all the time.
I may have lost, but I had the balls to get in that cage and go for it. You know?
Yeah. And I tell all these kids all the time, I'm like, see, especially as an amateur, it doesn't mean anything at all.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean?
No.
So obviously when you get to pro, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? But as an amateur, it's about going out there and experiencing it. And do you know what I mean? If it was me, let's say do you know what I mean? I got offered a fight with, and I'm going to just pick a name at random here, right? But let's say it was Sean Clancy when he was an amateur. Do you know what I mean? You'd be like, do you know what? I'm going to go in there and going to get done in. But do you know what? See, in years to come, when he's a UFC champion, I can sit there and do it in front of the kids and the grandkids and pals and that and be like, I fought him. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's quite funny because Chanel, is it Chanel? Sorry, Dyer, yeah. So she's got her thing on Sky, And I've had a few people message me and were like, have I just seen you on Sky on a documentary? I'm like, yeah, that's me, probably getting my face kicked in at the time and nearly being knocked out. But yeah, I mean, even that's something to be said. Do you know what I mean? But you will get people that would have gone, oh no, I'm not ready, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, as I say, what's the worst that can happen, really?
Yeah, I talked to Sean Clancy's dad about this. I think it was last year, and he was saying, oh, sorry, when Sean was an amateur and they couldn't get fights for him, and he used to say the same thing about, why would you not want to fight the top guy in the whole division? Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, don't get me wrong, yeah, you're going to go in there and you're going to be like, well, we'll see what happens. But as you said, a lucky punch, a lucky kick, do you know what I mean? Slip in or whatever, and it could be you that's in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? So, but you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? So, and
or maybe not get to the UFC, but at least you could go, I actually bet that guy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so obviously this one, you don't have an opponent yet. Obviously,
No.
I know that obviously the guys at Aberdeen Combat Show have been pushing and pushing and pushing.
Trying.
Yeah, I think there's a few people that have not matched up. Is it Marcus? I don't think was matched up. I
Yeah.
don't think he is yet. Do you know what I mean? So they were
We've
just
got
struggling.
we've got a bit of a list of people that are needing matched. I mean, to be honest, if I could get somebody and they took other people with them type thing, it would be absolutely awesome. But as I say, we're just don't know if it's the records that we have. I mean, I am a brown belt. You've probably got some newer people that are maybe going, not sure about that, but take me standing. But yeah, we've got a bit of a list that's needing filled. But obviously, with it being my last one, come on, please, come on. There's got to be some savage lady out there that's willing to just get in and go for it with me.
Yeah.
Let me out.
We definitely we want you matched up for sure. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, being the last one, and I know there's going to be a lot of emotion for you, because this is your life. This is your life. This is your thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
And obviously Grace, I know Grace is involved now, so she's out there doing her thing. So Grace, Lady Grace, do you know what I mean? So Grace is going to be taking the reins. You're going to be passing the torch on the 11th of October.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the thing is, I suppose we can't. I mean, we can push it enough. There's got to be somebody willing. I mean, even if there was a sponsor out there that wanted to sponsor us, so we had a bit more money and we could maybe try and get somebody from abroad. I mean, is there one of my fans that's up for sponsoring me? If I have to fight in the cage for a couple of rounds for your enjoyment, I'm okay with that.
Well, see, you're in Aberdeen, man. Aberdeen's got all that oil money. Do you know what I mean? Surely there's an oil tycoon in Aberdeen that's ready to drop some money. Do you know what I mean? So, but that's the thing. I mean, that night, obviously, you get someone. That night is going to be an emotional night for you.
Oh, I'm just going to absolutely love it. I mean, do you know what? Even that walkout for me is just one of my favorite things. You know, I think as well. I think people think a fighter is just a single person. It isn't. Your team standing behind you. You know what I mean? I will admit a lot of the things that I do, I don't usually have support with me because, like I was saying to you earlier, I am the person that fills in. I am the person that 2 weeks' notice was like, right, let's do this. Come on, let's give it a shot. I've been up and down the country, London, Manchester, Birmingham. We get in the car, and we go. But one of the things is I've got those guys behind me. And again, that feeling is one of the most amazing feelings in the world that, I'm passing it down to my daughter now. It's usually me standing with her. But just that and having the crowd around, it's just one of the best feelings. I think that's one of the reasons it is one of the best highs you can have. Again, you lose, it's crap. You come out, it's not the best feeling, we all think. But if you go in there and do your best, once you've passed that, it's amazing. Obviously, I'm in it to win it, 100%. But realistically, you've also got to take those losses on the chin. You've got to stand up and go, actually, I came into the gym. I worked my ass off. I did the weight cuts. I didn't eat shit. I didn't go out drinking, or I did go out with my friends, but I didn't drink. And I did that for this purpose. And that I am doing it for this purpose, because that, when your walkout music comes on, that feeling, you've done this, so you know this, it comes in your body, and it's just one of the most adrenaline fueled things that I think that you can have. And as I say, this will be my last walkout, so it won't happen in the cage again. But I will still doing sub onlys. I finally got offered a Combat Jets on sub series, which was last weekend, but obviously I had to say no because fight coming up. But that's one that I want to do. Also, if anybody's doing car jiu-jitsu, 100% one of them.
Listen, the last guy I just spoke to Riley Middleton, who had the very first car jiu-jitsu match in the UK. Do you know what I mean? And obviously
I may have messaged him.
so
I've seen it and was like, how do I get on this?
Yeah, but he said it was absolutely amazing. Do you know what I mean? And he said there was we talked about like the thought process. Like when you're sitting in there, you've got the seatbelt on, and he was talking about. He said I had my hand on the seatbelt, but the other guy had his hand on his lap, and he said as soon as I got that seatbelt off, he was trying to strangle the guy with the seatbelt. Do you know what I mean? And he said it was fun, and he said a lot of people forgot some of the stuff that he's done because he's a purple belt. He's been on the jiu-jitsu scene for a while, obviously MMA, and he said everybody that speaks to him said, "Are you that car jiu-jitsu guy?" They forget everything else. Do you know what I mean? So
there's so many fun ones. I watched one the other day, and it was tag team, but in a small pit. The pit wasn't big, so you could tag from anywhere. It was absolutely nuts, brutal, but looked so much fun. Absolutely so much fun. But there's a lot of these things, and I think they're taking a bit of the pressure out, and they're actually putting it into, well, I suppose, car jiu-jitsu. It sounds stupid, it sounds ridiculous, but what if somebody tries to attack you in the car? What if somebody tries to, get in your car and try to take the car type thing? They can take my car, but if you're in the car with the kids, you're fighting that person. And yes, it's a bit of fun, but I'm probably going to get shot on for this, but compared to IBJJF, car jiu-jitsu is more freaking realistic and probably more, what would be, what's the word? Like, oh man, my brain's just gone dead. There we go, joys of menopause. But like more realistic in self-defense type self-defense situation. Also, the tag teams in jiu-jitsu, if you end up fighting on the street or defending on the street, it's not one person that's coming at you. So I think there's quite a few of these things, and it's bringing people wanting to watch grappling. Grappling, do it myself, but it can get a little bit boring, some of the bits, and I think it's sort of bringing that sort of excitement, entertainment, because that's one of the things that people sometimes forget. This is entertainment. These shows, yes, it's sport, but you're there to entertain people. And you will find as well, you'll find sometimes people that are always losing, but they're entertaining. They'll keep having them on the shows. You've got somebody who's winning, but it's boring. They don't sell tickets. Do you know what I mean? Obviously when I'm fighting, whether it's whatever, mats, cage, it needs to be exciting, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to send you it because I know that the event that does it is called Mighty Grappling Events, right?
Okay.
So their next show, Caroline, 22nd of November. All right. So
I'm in Brighton. I've said that I would do. They're doing sub only. Both me and Grace have got matched for it. That's my next. I knew there was a reason I couldn't do the next one. So next one, get me on the one after that. Car jiu-jitsu.
I said, where is it? I'm trying to think where it is. Is it Oldham? I think it's Oldham, that neck of the woods. Do you know what I mean? So, but they land on the October the 11th. which is
Okay.
obviously full up, and then the next one, 22nd of November, and then obviously there'll be one after that as well. Do you know what I mean? But it's brilliant, man. I think there's another. They've got. I'll send you the link for their their Instagram, and there's a couple of videos. There's one, man, where the guy just he's got the seatbelt off and he just jumps the guy. Do you know what I mean? And it's absolutely brilliant. So, but yeah, Caroline Plumley caught a jiu-jitsu match in a car, man. Honestly, and then the combat jet stuff as well.
Do you know what would be brilliant? Would be in the summer, you do it outside.
Aye.
And just have the car in the middle and everybody round about. But I mean, another one that I saw was in the water, and they had like matted on a thing that floated, but obviously it moved.
Yeah.
And the idea was you had to stay on jiu-jitsu. You had to throw the person off and you won. And I'm like, and then they would come back up. So they were sweaty, they were wet, they were slippery. And it was another one that was quite interesting to watch.
Yeah. You know what, jiu-jitsu, and me, you've spoken about this many a time, but jiu-jitsu is one of the most boring things to watch. Do you know what I mean? And I say it all the time. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I love jiu-jitsu, but it's boring, man. It's so boring. Do you know what I mean?
It can be. I think certainly now with your likes of your IBJJF and all the guard pulling. Don't get me wrong, if you're sitting down and you know what you're doing, but for people watching, would I want to watch? Would I want to watch somebody sitting their bum? We just don't. And you know, when for myself as well, when I'm doing these fights and when I compete, see when somebody sits down, I'm just like, come on.
Yeah, you hear it in submission series all the time. All you hear is boo.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the Liverpool Combat Academy kids all want to wrestle. They all want to fight. Do you know what I mean? And then there was one that was in Edinburgh. It was the Brazilian kid from.
Oh God, yeah, we were there.
And then the Scouse kid, Joel Thompson, and he and Pietro, and the two of them went to go, and he sat down, and the whole fucking place was just like boo. And then he stood up. And they were all like, yeah, sat down again. Do you know what I mean? So, and yeah, I mean, I love it when two guys just go at it and just say, do you know what, let's try and take. That's why Owen Livesey, I loved watching Owen Livesey because he was just all about. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember it. I don't know if you see it at the SGI where Jack Brown, he was in Jack Brown's guard, and he ended up just picking Jack Brown up from the ground and throwing him down. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, yes, this is what we paid for. This is why people are paid to come and
stand up.
Yeah. So yeah, listen, car jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? Caroline Plumley, car jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? Let's definitely get that, man. Get that. Obviously, you saw Paul McBain retired.
Yep.
Obviously, recently, you saw the emotion and stuff like that. Obviously, that was a very emotional night. I remember talking to him before it, talking to him after it, and so on. And I think he was happy. He was happy everything he did. Do you know what I mean? And he was content. You know yourself. Do you know what I mean? If you're happy with what you've done, win or lose, it makes no difference. But if you're happy, then it makes it all worthwhile. Do you know what I mean? So
I think
happy.
as well,
Are you happy?
Yeah, I think you've got to know as well when it's time. I mean, to be honest, I'm 47. I am old as shit. I've got the whole joys of menopause, and obviously people don't want to speak about that. Do you know what I mean? But I've got at one point here, I'm like, yep, I don't know what I'm doing. What day is this? Do you know, we've got all this, and at some point, I mean, I'm broken. Everything that I've done, gymnastics when I was younger, blah, 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 it has the toll on the body. And I think you can push to a certain point, but there is a point where you have to go, right. And I was sort of there, but I was like, Paul had said, because there was a few fights came up last year, and I says, this will be my last. And he was like, no, we want you on a home show. Yeah. And then it was never happening. And to be quite honest, I will admit, I thought that was it. I'm done. And I did go on a bit of a downer. I still had the jiu-jitsu, wasn't quite the same. But then Paul says, right, we're having a home show. And I says, right, okay, if I get my arse in gear, get back on it. He's like, yeah, we'll have this one, your last one. Didn't believe that we would have this much hassle trying to get us matched up. But yeah, this is my push. This is my all. And after that will be, okay, I've been there, I've done it, I'm happy. I mean, to be quite honest, I'd love to do my refs course. I think I'd quite like to, I'd like to get in that cage, and I think I'd like to ref it. I think bringing sort of female refs in, it'd be quite a good thing. But I'd sort of says, you know, let's get me done fighting out the way. I mean, I'd quite like to do the ADCC. I like the ADCC reffing, the way it's done. I'll maybe do the other one as well, but I think I will probably aim sort of down that route.
ADCC one's a lot better. I know Ema does the Scottish grappling comps and all that, and she enjoys that. But again, that's Ema's game. Ema's style was always IBJJF rule sets.
Yeah, she's an IBJJF fan.
Whereas you suit a more ferocious type of grappling. None of this boring sit down guard shit. Do you know what I mean? So
I think if I did the sort of IBJJF, I would be like, dude, this is boring.
Get up!
Actually fight, yeah. But yeah, there's a few. I think was it Gary I was speaking to, and he was like, "There's a course that you can do which sort of mixes everything in, so you can do, you know, if you have these combat shows where you've got Thai, you've got boxing on, you can sort of, you know, be an all rounder at these things, which I quite fancy going down that route. So we'll see. We'll see. But then I think there's not many places up in Scotland that do the refs course for the MMA. I think it's like a wee trip down.
Yeah, we did the Mark Goddard one. I only managed to get the 1 day. Do you know what I mean? So, but it was difficult because obviously that's like the proper unified rules, and do you know what I mean? It's a worldwide. It's under Mark Goddard, so Mark doesn't qualify everybody because he's got very high standards for obvious reasons. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, because you know yourself, I mean, a lot of these courses, you go on and you get a certificate and they say, well done. And then you're thrown in at the deep end. Whereas obviously Mark Goddard's like, and he said that the very first thing he said, if I'm putting my name to you, you better be good. You better be good. Do you know what I mean? So,
because I know that it's not been an issue, but I know that I think we're having Gaz and Mop that are going to be doing the reffing, and obviously they're Mark Goddard, but I know he's now not doing headshots for under 18s.
Yes.
Which obviously on one side, that is a good thing. But then on the other side, we've got a 17-year-old that's been used to doing headshots, and that's it. It's weighing up the balance, isn't it? You want good refs, and you want your team and the guys to be as safe as they can.
Yeah.
But then putting something in that we haven't been doing is a bit rubbish. But you know what, it is what it is. I think anybody would rather have a decent set of refs than some Mickey Mouse rubbish. You've probably been there yourself, where somebody's getting their arm ripped off and the referee's having a look at what's going on at the other side of the arena or whatever, and you're like, dude.
Right, Majid Gilani springs to mind. That's the kind of referee. Now, Majid's awesome, do you know what I mean? But he is, man. You can be sitting watching a fight, and he'll be like looking over there, and do you know what I mean? You're like, Madge, pay attention. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean, I know myself. I've been in grappling matches, and I'm like, ref, the timer's gone.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, there's 10 seconds already gone. Oh, I'm like, geez. And I mean, I had one. I actually had one at Grappling Industries, and they told us smothering was allowed. There was a whole big thing to start with. So of course, my head's like, yes, we can smother people. So I'd got my hand across the lassie's face. Just go round to back. Hand across the lassie's face, and I'm smothering there. And then she's yelling at the ref, and the ref is yelling at me. And I will admit, I'm not one that likes to sort of say to the ref, we don't have refs, we don't have matches. I try to be very respectful to them. But it wasn't like, dude, what? And I ended up having to say something. And then I got him for the next one. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not winning this round, am I? And I mean, I had another ref at Grappling Industries who stopped me because I was calf splicing.
Yeah.
There's a 10-foot sign that says that we can calf splice. And I ended up, that was another one I had to get the guy in. Even my opponent was like, yeah, you should have got that. And it's a bit like, I think especially when we've got grappling industries with a different rule set, and you've got the sort of IBJJF rule set, and you've got these refs that are going to the same things, and then they're not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously you've got your ADCC, they're only doing
one set.
ADCC. But yeah, reffing standards can sometimes be.
We've seen some horror stories over the years, do you know what I mean? So, Caroline, thinking back then, obviously your career, you've had an amazing career so far, do you know what I mean? I'd say it's not always been wins, do you know what I mean? So there's been wins, there's been losses, but the whole time you've had fun while we've doing it. What's been your highlight?
Oh, do you know what? I think there's probably been too many to look at. I mean, for example, that I can never remember if it was EMAS or IMAS that we went down to. That whole experience, the guys that we went down to, we had one of the best weekends. The whole experience was just awesome and random. And I mean, I'll admit, I didn't win either of my fights there. It was a very last minute decision. We'll admit I wasn't exactly prepared for what was coming, but we went down, we did it. But the way it was set up, the way it was all done was just an experience. But I mean, massive shout out to the Almighty guys being on their shows. Such well-run shows that they had. Again, awesome experience. And then even sort of, I mean, I've been Amsterdam, we've been to Berlin, you know, I've competed over there. It's one of these things where, do you know what? I can't probably say that I can pinpoint one. There's just been so many people. I mean, you know me, I'll go and I'll speak to anybody. And I think a lot of people don't, you know, they stick the headphones on and they go in their own space. But I mean, go to these things, speak to people. I've got some awesome friends all over the world and now doing these things. Just, I don't know. As I say, certainly since, I mean, I was at AMAG beforehand, didn't leave there on the best of terms, but certainly since I've come over to Combat Centre, I've just boomed. I think part of it was just going out and getting these fights and, you know, having the team behind you. This is one thing that I push. I mean, I take the kids jits and I really push for the kids. Is that team, you know, that team that you have, that push that you've got. Also the banter, it's good to have banter. It's good to be told your shit from time to time, you know, it pushes you. You can't be, I think a lot of kids nowadays, smoke's blowing up their ass. They're told they're the best of this and they're best of that. I mean, I've seen kids, you know, they're celebrating on online to a default medal. You know, don't get me wrong, you've got these divisions. There's two people in the division. Somebody gets a gold, somebody gets a silver. But they're celebrating these silver medals. You know, they're celebrating, oh, look at me, I'm in the Euros and I got silver at the Euros. And you're like, you lost. Get some, you know, some clarity here. You know, don't get me wrong, awesome that, like I say, you went, you did. You got on there, you had the balls to do it, but also respect your losses. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't always be coming out and winning. If you are, you're picking your fights and there's something wrong. And I think that's one thing that well, you know yourself that I've brought away. Just give me it. Let me do it. Let me try, you know, let me experience what's happening. Some of the experiences, horrendous, but you can't know that they're bad till you've done it. And especially with my kids, I mean, we had Grace and we had Murad on the submission series. When we took both those fights, we knew they were the next level. Do you know? But given their due, both kids worked their arses off. Yeah. When they went on, they didn't last that long. What they did do, I was impressed. And then, you know, it turned. I brought them off. They were both, you know, sort of like, oh, you know, Grace was, you know, I feel bad of letting down. Did you? Fuck, let us down. I mean, I had both kids and I'm like, right, it's the big girl voice on here. Apologies, I'm not going to be kiddie talking. Nobody let me down. You did absolutely fucking amazing. You know, you walked out there, you put the training in. If they hadn't put the training in, but they did, I had them in, you know, at the weekend, we did extra training. We did it. Don't give me no crap about you've let me down. You've let no one down. Absolutely awesome for what you did. And we are going to work to the next one. It's just the way that I work, and it's the way that I want the kids to work as well. But I think just bringing all these experiences is just nuts. It's just, you know, I've had a crazy 10 years. My nose is not quite as straight as it used to be, and my fingers don't bend quite the same as they did.
Yeah.
And I might be rocking the BP 157 now. But you know what? I would rather be broken and have gone through these things. I think trying to pinpoint one is just, I can't do it. Just too many. And as I say, I'm bringing Grace into this now. Grace is, you know, being brought into this gym world. And for young women, I think being around, do you know what? These awesome males, I think males are getting a hard time just now. But you know, we have so many really brilliant men around. And we have them in the gym. You know, we've got the crazy ones and the whatnot. We've got the, you know, dads that are trying to be the best dads they are. You know, everybody, my kids are being brought up around this, what a lot of people would probably call toxic masculinity. But come on, men be bloody men. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think also, like I was saying, one of the things is bringing my daughters into this. My oldest, she's getting back into Muay Thai as well, and just
that's when she's no on holiday. She seems to be on holiday all the time. Do you know what I mean? All I see is like Facebook posts. She's away there. She's away somewhere. She was just away somewhere just there. Do you know what I mean? And she just seems to be abroad all the time.
Well, see, the thing is, me and Grace will train when we go abroad. She doesn't. She hasn't quite got that instilled.
Oh, no, she was there. There was no training. I seen drinks. I seen beaches, and that, do you know what I mean? There was no training at all.
There was lots of pouty poses in bikinis, but there was no sports bras and you know, the fight fingers.
Nah, listen, it'll be good to see you all coming back. Do you know what I mean? Getting back in the training. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Sean Hampton just saying hi, Caroline. So, so big shout out to Sean there. So guys, we're looking for between 57 and 61 kilos. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. So we're looking for a 57 to 61 kilo female fighter.
There's got to be somebody out there that wants to get in that cage with me. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be some savage woman out of there that wants to give me my last fight. You know, I'm game. I'm 100% game. Just bring it. Even an up and comer. Do you know, if you want to be like me, try it. You know, get in there, see what you can do against an old wifey gone through menopause.
Well, is it whatever happens next for you? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I've been a huge fan of yours for years. You know that. Do you know what I mean? I absolutely love everything you do, going out there. And, do you know what I mean? And again, especially for people our age. Do you know what I mean? And be like, do you know what? We've still got still some gas in the tank. Do you know what I mean? And going out there and, do you know what I mean? And again, you're fighting. And I remember talking to you after I had my fight, and you were like, do you know what? Whatever happens. Do you know what I mean? You go out there, you get put on your ass. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to get up again. Do you know what I mean? You get submitted. You're going to get up again. You're no different. You're not going to be a different person.
No.
People are not going to look at you any differently from what you do, and that's something that I took away from obviously having a conversation with you, and that's something that everybody should take away.
Yeah. I think as well,
put pressure on themselves. So.
Oh God, but I think as well, you know, you get the outsiders that don't fight, don't train, and they'll be like, you know, oh, what's your record? And I mean, my record is 2-6, so I've had a lot of losses, and they look at you like you're a bit shit. But it's like, you know, you don't know what those losses were. Do you know? As I say, the ones that we went down to the IMAFs were in, Now looking back, wasn't prepared at all. And as I say, one of them's now pro, one of them's on what's she on? She's on the UFC. She's in the UFC now.
Yeah, she knelt Dyer.
Yeah.
She took a loss at the Dana White Contender Series, but it was like one of the best matchups that Dana White said he'd seen on the Dana White Contender Series.
But
so
there you go.
Contact.
You've just said it yourself. Sometimes you will have the best fight, but one of them's got to lose. The fight I had against, who was it? Scottish lassie for Hit Squad.
Gemma Old, yeah.
No, other one, other Hit Squad.
Georgia Hackland. Yeah.
Yes. Do you know what? That was 100% a back forth. That was a brutal match. She tipped it in the end, shook her hand, good on to her. But people just see, oh, you lost. I didn't lose shit in that. In my opinion, I lost nothing there. I went up against a lassie who was more than half my age. We had a battle. In the end, nobody got subbed, nobody got knocked out. She won it in points. Good on her, and she's gone on as well. But yeah, that's not a loss. But the outsiders see the loss, likes of with yourself in the the fight that you had. Do you see that as a loss?
Nah, because there was and again, I spoke to a lot of people about it, you included. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it was about me and you, we can probably have picked our fights better, right? But there's not many 40-plus-year-old amateurs out there that are willing to fight. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's why I went in against a guy who's 23. You're in against girls that are in their 20s, 19 and all that. So we'd love to be able to sit there and go, oh, brilliant, there's another 45, 46, 47-year-old. But do you know what I mean? If you had to wait, you'd never have a fight. Do you know what I mean? So,
it's the same with the grappling. I put myself in the adults. I don't actually think I've ever fought anybody older than me. I think the oldest has been 45.
Yeah.
But yeah, realistically speaking, if I want to fight, I've got to put myself in the adults. That's it, or I don't fight. And I mean, for some people, they're happy to do that. They'll wait till the next comp, or suck that. I've found myself before. I'll be in the adults for something, the masters for something, the masters 2 for something, and then I'll throw myself in, with something else. You just got to pick, and it's like, right, okay, I can get her there, I can get her there. You just got to throw yourself in and go for it. Do you know? I think if you're doing that, there's no such thing as losses, is there?
Yeah. Tracy Webster, she's got her hand up. I don't know if Tracy is putting her hand up whether she wants to fight or not. Do you know what I mean? But
Tracy wants wrist locked. If she's putting her hand up, it's getting wrist locked.
And then Sean Hampton just coming in saying a rematch with my wee Italian friend Ema. I would love to see that. Do you know what I mean? So guys, we're looking for a 57 to 61 kilo female fighter. As I said, whatever amateur record. Do you know what I mean? As long as they're an amateur, do you know what I mean? And you're not throwing in a fucking a Brock Lesnar, do you know what I mean? In a skirt. Do you know what I mean? So as long as it's not Brock Lesnar in a skirt, we're all right. But so 57 to 61 kilo. I've been posting it up. Obviously, the Aberdeen Combat Show has been putting it up. I've been reposting it. Just contact on Instagram, Aberdeen Combat Show. All right. Yeah. So
message me direct. Even Paul McBain direct. You know what I mean? If you don't have the other, or you can't find the other, just message somebody, please. Somebody out there must know somebody that wants to get in there with us.
Yeah, so we'll definitely get someone. I'd say. Well, so that's the 11th of October. Obviously, you mentioned travel costs and accommodation costs are paid for.
Yeah, there is. Obviously, they're not going to fly over X amount of people, but there is a pot there. There is money there to bring people over. But yeah.
So we're not flying anybody over from America, so you guys can fucking stay in America. Do you know what I mean? But Ireland.
Unless there's a sponsor that wants to, fly some people over for me.
So, but yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, we need to get someone. As I say, this is going to be Caroline's last one. Do you know what I mean? We definitely, it has to be in Aberdeen because Caroline's from Aberdeen, obviously friends, family, and all that. And being able to fight in front of your home crowd, do you know what I mean? It's special. It's very, very special. You might even get Caroline. She might even cry that night as well. There might be some tears. Do you know what I mean? That's worth the fucking ticket money. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's going to be an amazing night for you. What if we get someone? Obviously, if we do get someone,
Please,
um,
please.
it'll be emotional. It'll be very, very emotional for sure. So, so guys, Aberdeen Combat Centre, Aberdeen BJJ Centre, Aberdeen Combat Show, Paul McBain, Caroline Plumley, Damon Donald, even Messi's fucking Damon Donald as well. Do you know what I mean?
Bring
So,
Damon. Yeah, he's fighting not next week, but the weekend after. He's going to Dublin. He's on Cage Warriors.
yeah.
So there's probably going to be some major violence going on then.
Yeah. We take that fucking Damon Donald violence to a Dublin, man. Do you know what I mean? Like only Damon Donald can do. So I know he was obviously a bit down after the last one, but do you know what? Right, that's the worst thing is having a pissed off, angry Damon Donald. Do you know what I mean? So God help the next person, man. God help the next
But
person.
then, like what we were speaking before, Damon took that at the weight above.
Yeah.
He took that, here's other, team members. He knew it was the weight above. He knew it was going to be a bit different, but he went, fuck it, let's do it. He still did well. You know what I mean? It was a loss, but he'll come back this one. He's back in his own weight category. He's going to fuck shit up over there.
Yeah. Oh, he's dangerous, man. He's a dangerous guy. Do you know what I mean? So, Grace, when are we seeing you again?
I'm fighting in November.
Brighton. Yeah, Brighton. So, you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
So that'll be our first blue belt match as well. She got her blue when she turned 16.
Saw that, yeah. So, absolutely buzzing for that as well. That means you'll be going out there smashing all them blue belts. Do you know what I mean?
That's the plan.
Yeah. So, and then hopefully we see you in Young Subs next year at some point as well. I know we've got a holiday plan. Oh, sorry, we've got the rest of the year's finished. So hopefully we get to see you on Young Subs. And Mum, we'll get that combat jiu-jitsu match going as well. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know who would have put you. Did they give you an opponent? Did they give you a name?
There was a lassie. I think she's done a combat one before. Carl messaged us, but I would have loved to do it. But with this, I thought all it takes is a broken nose. Do you know? I mean, combat jiu-jitsu, we are being struck in the face. It's not like, do you know?
No, it's like
You've got to be coming.
It's like that part of the hand as well. It's we saw the first combat jits match and it was brutal, man. Was it
Lee? Was it Lee that did it?
Lee, and Lee's an absolute madman.
He's a monster, like.
And it was honestly open palms, and it was like, and it was the bone part of the hand. It wasn't the flabby bit at the top. It was the bone bit of the hand. So, and
it's funny because Lee, we'd been over in Tenerife and we ended up training together in the Surf Fight Club over in Tenerife.
Yeah.
Lee's
awesome
a monster,
guy.
like.
Yeah, he's an awesome kid as well. Do you know what I mean? So, so guys, you know where to hit up. It's going to be great to see the Duchess go out. Do you know what I mean? I know you want to do this forever, but as you said, unfortunately, we can't do this shit forever.
No.
But she'll definitely pass that torch on. She does the jits, kids jits. I laugh and say there's going to be all these kids running about like Caroline Plumley, just want to kill everybody. Do you know what I mean? But she's an awesome coach, definitely an inspiration. Do you know what I mean? She's given us so many great memories over the last, what was your amateur debut? 2019? Do you know what I mean? So, so over that time, we've had some amazing memories. Everybody that's ever stepped in a cage with Caroline will tell you the same thing. Do you know what I mean? She's an absolute legend. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure there'll be a few messages will come in as well from obviously, hopefully that's Chanel Dyer. Do you know what I mean? Get her to send you a message. Gemma Auld. Do you know what I mean? I know Gemma loved to match up with you. Georgia as well. Georgia loved to match up with you as well. It was very tough for Georgia, but you took her into some horrible waters that she'd never been in before. So everybody's got great memories. But so yeah, definitely let's get this match. Let's get this match. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say what we were talking about in the what I was talking about in the messages. I'm not going to say that. Do you know what I mean? But fucking get fighting, man. Get fighting. But hopefully we've got a couple of names. I've sent a name over to you.
Oh,
what I mean?
brilliant.
Right? It was somebody that you were supposed to fight. I don't know. It didn't go ahead. I don't know if you remember this one from about a year or so ago. Was it a year ago? A couple of years ago? Last year. It was supposed to be last year on Almighty. No, it wasn't Almighty. Rise and Conquer. Do you remember that, Carol?
Oh, yeah.
He just fought in July. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if you would take that one. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what weight she is though. Do you know what I mean? So, but I might. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, have a look at the message, and I'll even drop her coach a message and say, "Look, you were supposed to fight," and then. But that's just one option. That's one option. So, but listen, Duchess, absolute pleasure as always. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me. Listen, enjoy the rest of your training camp. I know you're training all the time anyway, so so it makes no difference. But thank you for the memories. Do you know what I mean? The memories have been awesome.
Oh, there will be more. There'll definitely be more.
Definitely. But listen, thank you again, and have an amazing night. All right.
Awesome. Cheers.
Take care then. Bye-bye.
Bye.